So today I'm going to do an overview of the Hitbox Mig-200 welder. And I actually have two welders that are both the Mig-200 model, but the interface is slightly different. I'm going to explain the difference and show you how to use them. I'm going to start with this one here. The biggest noticeable difference is this electrical whip that comes out at the front. And it was just kind of hanging there, didn't really know what it was for until I did a little bit of research and found out how to use it. But in order for me to explain how to use it properly, I have to explain the difference between the two different types of MIG welding. So there's basically two different types of wires that you can get. One of them is the flux cord, right here, flux cord gasless welding wire. And then this one here, it doesn't actually say on it, but this is just a straight iron that has not a flux core in it. And depending on which wire you use, the setting has to be different. Now I have a handy little chart that I made up, and the most important, or I guess the easiest way to remember, is if you're looking at where's the ground. If you're going, use stick, like here, the ground has to be plugged into the negative, which you can see up here is clearly labeled at this one right here. That's the negative. Now if I want to use gas on the MIG welder, again the ground has to be at the negative. If I want to use the flux core wire, the ground has to be on the positive. And if I want to use my TIG attachment over there, the ground also has to be on the positive. So let's look at the very first one, the stick. I'm going to take my stick welder, and the ground clamp has to be on the negative. So I'm going to take that here and plug it in to the negative. And then I'm going to use the electrode holder and plug that one in to the positive. Turn on the machine. And then under the setting, I'm going to zoom in here for a little bit. Under the setting, I'm going to use this button to go over to arc. And then all I need to do is adjust my amperage right here. And I'm ready to weld whichever way I want to go. One thing to notice is that this button can actually switch between amperage and voltage. Now this doesn't apply to the arc. Once I switch over to MIG or lift-tig, I can show you. For now, this just adjusts the amperage accordingly, and the voltage stays the same. And that's how you use the stick welder on the Hitbox 200. Now, if I go to the next one, for the MIG, if I want to use gas, again, I want to make sure that I pay attention to where the ground is, and that is negative. So right now the ground clamp is plugged into the negative, but when I use the MIG attachment, I have to use this little whip, and I actually have to plug the whip into the positive. And then I go to the back and I have to connect my gas inlet to a bottle like this, which should be C25, 25% carbon dioxide and 75% argon. It is possible to use 100% argon with a MIG, but not very well, because the thermal conductivity of argon is not nearly as good as the C25. So it's definitely recommended to have the gas that has the 25% CO2 in it. Once I have plugged in the wires the correct way, I can go to the control panel and use the selection button to switch over from arc to MIG. Now with MIG, there's two options that I have. I can either go flux core or solid wire. So because right now the ground is on the negative, which means we're talking about the gas MIG, I have to switch the panel over to a solid core wire. And now all that's left is to adjust the amperage or the voltage, depending on how you want it. You can see there's a little LED that lights up the A, and there's a little dark one that says V. So if you take this button, push it in, it switches from amperage to voltage, and back, amperage, voltage. So if I want to adjust the voltage, that's where I do it. If I want to switch the amperage, that's where I can do that, and the voltage automatically adjusts. The third option here is using the flux core wire, and that's what I have in my machine right now. So if I look under here, this wire is flux core wire, and I do not have it hooked up to any sort of gas, which obviously I won't need for the flux core wire. Now if I want to use that option, I look at my chart and the flux core wire says ground positive. So the ground clamp has to be plugged into the positive. So I'll disconnect the whip and plug in the ground to positive, and then I'm going to take this little whip and plug it into the negative, and on my selection panel I switch over from solid core to flux core wire, and I'm ready to go. Again, adjusting the amperage here, and if I want to switch over to voltage, I push this button and now I can adjust the voltage, and I am good to weld with my flux core wire. Now the last option that this welder can handle is the lift-tig, and you can tell it has to be ground positive. So if I look at the ground clamp, it is plugged into the positive, but because I don't want to use my MIG attachment, I'm going to disconnect this whip, okay? But instead, I'm going to use my TIG attachment that has two ends, and one of them will go into the positive end, and the other one will screw into the bottle that has the argon. Now with the TIG, you have to use 100% argon. This C25 gas is not going to work for the TIG because the temperatures are just too high. And then all you got to do is lift or open up the little gas and touch the metal with, or I guess I should show you over here, touch the metal with the tungsten electrode and lift it off, and then you can weld it with a filler rod just like you would normally. So to summarize, there's several different options for this welder. We have the regular stick welder, we have the TIG welding, and we have the MIG welding, which is also split up into gasless, which is the flux core, and the regular shielding gas. Depending on which one you want to use, the ground clamp is the key. So for the stick, you plug in the ground clamp into the negative. For regular shielding gas MIG, you also keep the ground clamp on the negative. For flux core MIG welding, you take the ground clamp and plug it into the positive, and for TIG you also keep it at the positive. Now for MIG, you have to use this whip to plug it into whichever one is not being used by the ground clamp, and that diverts the electricity to the MIG gun. And the only other thing to look out for is the TIG attachment has this, which needs to be plugged into an argon bottle with a regulator, obviously. And that summarizes the Mig-200 with this front panel. The next thing I'm going to do is go through the options of this particular Mig-200 MIG welder. The nice thing about this particular Mig-200 is that if you open up the panel, it has a real good instructions here for using the MIG, and then the flux core MIG, and then the TIG and the stick. Now this one switches over slightly different, as you can tell. With the regular shielding gas MIG, the inside has to be connected to the bottom, which is what I have set up right now. If I want to switch it over to flux core, I have to loosen this bolt and take this electrical cable and put it up here and screw it back in, and then obviously take the ground clamp and take it from the negative and plug it into the positive so that I can use the flux core wire. But right now I have it set up with my gas. Just goes in the back here. I use the C25 shielding gas with a regulator. I should really have a flow meter on it, that would be better, but I didn't have one at the time, so I just used a regulator, and it worked fine for me. So I'm going to turn on the machine and show you the different options for this particular model. Here's the control panel, and once it's set, booted up, you'll see that there is, just like with the other one, there's 3 different settings: stick, lift-tig, and MIG. So I'm going to start out with the stick. Once you have the wires connected properly into the ground clamp, all that's really left to do is set the amperage, and then that's it. Now with stick, there is one option that you can select. That's this one right here. And I'm not sure if you can read it, but the little light says VRD on. That is essentially reducing the voltage of the output when you're not in the process of actually welding, because it can go up to 60 or 70 amps, which could zap you pretty good. So you can use this button to either turn it on or off, depending on what you would like. And that's it for the stick. The next option is the lift-tig, and there's really not too many options for that. You can use the wheel to set the amperage, and that's about it. Now for the MIG, there's a couple of different options. If I switch over to MIG, you'll see the voltage and the wire feed speed, and that one can be changed by adjusting. Now if I increase the voltage, it automatically increases the wire speed. If I decrease the voltage, it also automatically decreases the wire feed speed. Now if I want to adjust the wire feed speed, I can do that with this option button. Now I want you to pay attention to this. Right now I got 18 volts and 5 meters per minute. If I select this option here, I can increase or decrease. So let's put this down to -2, okay, and switch back to the regular display. And now if I crank it back up to 18, now I'm at 6.8 meters per minute, whereas before I was 5. Equally so, if I want to go the opposite way, let's say I put this up to +2 and go back to my regular setting and crank this back down to 18 volts, because that's what I had before to compare. You can see I'm at only 2.4 meters per minute, whereas before I was at 5. The last 2 options you can use this button for is if you switch over to inductance, you can increase or decrease the value to a negative or a positive value. And then the last one is the diameter of the wire. Right now is 0.8 millimeter, or if I want to switch it up to 30 thou, which is 1 millimeter, then that's how I use it. So there's only 2 options for this. I'm going to leave it at 0.8 millimeter, which is the 24 thou wire. One last option, which is really handy, is the 2T normal and the 4T latch option for my MIG welding. And I can change it with this button up here. So the 2T is essentially, it welds while you pull the trigger of the MIG gun, and when you let go, it stops. If you switch it over to the 4T latch, all you need to do is pull the trigger and hold it for like a second, and then you can let go of the trigger and it'll continue welding, and you can weld for a minute or 2, and then when you're done, you can press the trigger again and that turns it off, which is really handy. So I usually use the 2T when I have to do some tack welding, and once all the tack welding is done and I get to do the actual long beads, I switch it over to 4T latch, because that's a lot easier on the hand, and it doesn't cramp up as much when you weld for longer periods of time. And that's pretty much it for the Hitbox Mig-200 welder, the 2 different versions of the same model. This is the one that I regularly use, but I've used this one too. I find that this one has, it looks nicer, it looks a little bit more solid, but I actually do prefer this one. That's just my own personal preference. Everybody's different, and I'm sure there's plenty of people, or just as many people, that would prefer this one here over this particular model. Overall, I'm really happy with it. I wouldn't want to have any other welder than this. Okay, so that concludes the overview of the 2 different types of the Hitbox Mig-200 welders. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's helpful for you. If it is, I'd love for you to subscribe and hit notifications button. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.